Hello everyone, welcome to the art stream. You might be wondering why I'm not VTubing. Basically, after last night showing that VTubing can be a little bit of a strain on resources on my computer, I thought it was probably best that I just don't. Not while I'm trying to also do art as well, because I'm fairly certain Clip Studio Paint and the VTube software together will completely kill the stream. Don't want that. So you get my. So I've put my meat suit on for this one, and yeah. I'll also slight advance warning if for some reason I suddenly seem ill out of nowhere. Side effects of the vaccine / booster. I don't know if actually anything is going to happen like that because it hasn't before, but this is a different type than I've had before. The two vaccines I had were Pfizer, and this one was Moderna. So I had a minimal side effects on Pfizer. I have no idea what I'm going to be like on this one. So hopefully, minimal side effects. But, just to put it there. Also, I've been excited to do an art stream for a while because I now have a proper art tablet. I have a proper art tablet that is not just a Microsoft Surface, which is through some weird and wacky things doing a virtual screen projection. It's actually a legitimate art tablet. It's connected to my computer as a third monitor, so essentially I have 3 monitors, which is weird but also awesome. The only issue is that when I play around with resolutions, oh god, I'm already feeling kind of congested, but I think that's just my cold. My cold, combined with not having slept all that much. Because, yay. That's a result of me having coffee before Ghost of Tsushima. And weirdly enough, after I did Ghost of Tsushima, the very first thing that I did was, okay, you know what, I'm going to make a start on speeding through let's see. Yeah, I went on to Nier to try and power through, and in one session, like 2 hours total, maybe 2 hours, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. Got up to right before the Shadow Lord's castle, and got all the speed trophies for the bosses I was missing. Well, apart from the ones towards the end. So yeah, will definitely be a case of go in, go kill Popol and Deviler quickly whilst also using the cutscene skipping things, do the same to Grimoire Noir, doing the same to the Shadow Lord, and then dealing with Berserk Kaine, probably doing the same thing as well because cutscenes, which eat into the actual boss encounter time. So yeah, next Nier stream, that's all set up for. Something else actually going on like that, and after that I kind of went to bed. I was contemplating going on Final Fantasy 14, but I thought, nah, too tired. I was contemplating on doing it when I got back, didn't have enough time, so I went on Warframe, did a bit of farming, got one of the more prime pieces I wanted. There's only 2 more left. And they're both uncommon, I think, or one's rare. Can't remember. Actually can't remember off the top of my head. But I know that for one of them, I've only got like 6 opportunities to get it, so I'm trying to farm up the Void Tracers to get the best chances I can on it. Yeah. Excuse me. But, let's see. We'll catch up with some chat, and we'll jump into things. Literally, I'm just going to be fixing some of the stuff that I've noticed I've done wrong, and I've been told that I've done wrong. And then if I get done with that, I'm going to move on to shading. So we'll see. See how that works. I also know that I need to configure parts of my tablet, but can't bother. Can't bother to do that today. Definitely not on stream. I will probably do that afterwards. But it's basically I've got to configure some buttons. Because this tablet has buttons. Hello, welcome DJ, and thank you immediately for the hydration reminder. After that, I spray my aftershave on my finger and acting like fuck. Ooh, yeah. It's the reason why I never use aftershave, because the way that I shave, I almost always come up with cuts on my face. So I know that aftershave is just going to make it worse and make it sting. Like, nah, no, best not. Basically, I put hot water on my face. I put soap on to soften the bristles. I shave. I wipe it all off with a towel. Done. That's me shaved. I'm glad it is that easy. Because if it was any more difficult, I probably wouldn't do it, and I just hate it. Watching a bit of the VOD, and the fact was I saying, because I remember saying stuff with suits. I'm not joking, just think I was trying to say random bullshit like a drunk person. Possibly. But yeah, you were saying about the things you didn't like about the Kingsman film was the fact that people were wearing suits in it, and that's, you know, not been in fashion for 50 years, and pretty much everyone else was saying no, that's not the case. Thank you, DJ, for the contribution for the SCP Stream Challenge. And Loop here is something you love, dyslexia-friendly text font option. Nice. Yeah, I do like the fact that there's a number of games now which are being very much more friendly towards disabilities and having more accessibility options. Really do like that. Right, well that's all caught up. Let's switch over. Excuse the black borders around there, the resolution fucked up, and there's not much I can do about it actually. If I select that, just to, well, eliminate the black border at the bottom at the very least, and so you can actually see more of the window itself. There we go. Yeah, so just have black border at the top now, and I'm covering most of that, and what is being covered from by my face cam is literally the top of the preview thing and the tabs of the navigator, so there's not really much you're missing out on. The art glove on. Well, I did find out with this tablet that the art glove is... I'm not going to say it's not necessary, because it is. But it's not necessary for the reason I was getting this particular art glove, because I got this particular art glove mostly because on the side there, you can just barely see it, that there. It's a patch of different material that does not allow for electrical signals to go through it, which essentially means that on touch sensitive tablets, like my previous two ones I've used, it wouldn't pick up my hand resting on it as being trying to input it like the pen. However, this tablet, I'm now tapping on the screen and moving around, as you can see, nothing is actually happening because it doesn't pick up stuff with my fingers. So this art glove, I don't need that bit on the side there, but I do still need it just, you know, so I'm not smudging or making the screen dirty. Give it a quick wipe, because I think that bit at the side actually, oh, it does, yeah. That side of the actually doubles up as a bit of my cleaning cloth. That's handy. So let's dive into things. Right. So the main thing I'm going to be doing with this is... Oh, come on, really? Oh, fine, if you're going to be like that, computer. There we go. If I do that, then I do that. Can I? Yes, there we go. So I got... So because I'm using 3 monitors now, I'm using this one as my normal game one as holding up a reference. When I say reference, it's my little tutorial that Ten drew for me to help me with what I've noticed that I've done wrong. Well, what she noticed that I did wrong. So what I'm going to be starting off doing is, as you may already notice, I've changed how the fur looks, because those people who have seen beforehand will have noticed that the fur was essentially like that on all around there and around the thighs here. So I've changed it to look actually more like fur. It's worked quite well. It's a bit too floofy and all over the place. So that is what I'm going to be going in and changing first off. Is that it's the right sort of idea, just needs to be a bit more directional. What I should also do is if I take that off, So we're working on the line art only. There. Make that a bit bigger as well. Lily, hello and welcome. And just get rid of all that. Because otherwise, if I try to just essentially just do damage control on it, I know it's just going to be overwriting what I've previously done. Is not going to go down too well. So I'm just going to try and just basically go from the bit there. Nah. I can talk, honestly. I promise. I promise I'm somewhat at least well versed in the English language. Anxiety gobbo go brew. Oh, I'm sorry to hear your anxiety's acting up, Lily. Is there anything we can do to help? Or is it just you need to wait it out? You know what, if I do... If I go onto the under thing, and if I do this bit in green, so... Would help if I actually stuck to the colour green rather than just did it on the colour wheel. There we go. That gives me a bit of a guideline at the very least. And in all fairness, I should probably erase this as well. Emoto, hello and welcome! When drawing fluff, try to add variation to the tufts. Look at the reference I showed you. Try to add longer strands to shorter ones. Yes, so the reference you drew for me, Emoto, I've actually got up on my front monitor here. So that is staring me in the face as I work on this. I think that's his. Yeah, that's it for this thigh. Good, good, good. Right. Definitely on that layer. Yep. Got there. Got there, and I'll just decrease the pen size there. Okay, so direction of Floof is going that way ish. So if I start off with something like that, so it could work. Yep. Oh god, that doesn't look right at all. What I can do though is if I take somewhere around here to be as the end point, there we go. That's looking a bit better actually. It started off good, then it kind of went a bit crappy. Try to not do zigzags. I'm trying because you said about doing it like a heart monitor. I was like, I don't know how to differentiate between a zigzag and a heart monitor. Try to do strokes in one direction comes to a point. Oh. Well, that's going to be... That feels like that's a skill level 5 thing. I'm at skill level 2. We'll try and we'll see. I can clean these up a bit later. But for now, just need to That wasn't right. Also, I apologise for there just being silence in the background. I do not have a Spotify premium subscription, so I don't really want there to be music going in the background, and every 2 songs you get a cluster of adverts. That's the main reason why I don't use Spotify, is because I'm on a free version of it. I know a couple of people with premium accounts who are willing to let me use their account details, so I just can't remember what the details are offhand. That one doesn't seem right. That one spike of fluff, something doesn't mesh well with my head on it. Oh god, I can feel myself becoming more congested. Fine. Oh, I see. Stuff like that. That. Okay, that's actually looking a lot better than I thought it would. That is completely missed. That one completely missed. And let's see, like that. That there. No. There we go. Smaller. There we go. That's at least looking better than it did beforehand. It's good. Yay. Well, my art mentors is saying that I'm doing well. I have a please. I have a pleased. Sounds really weird when I say it like that, but yeah, I'm gonna stick with it. It's gonna bother me if I don't get rid of that. It'll also confuse me. See, as a base, that already actually looks kind of good. I just need to now layer it, so to speak, and tidy it up a bit more. Yeah. Also means that now, if I go into the underfur, I can now get rid of this. Torian, hello and welcome. Torian. That just buggered. That just buggered. Todd Howard, it just works. Malk, it just buggered. Like how that's erased? What the fuck? Oh, piss, I just realised as well. I just did that. There we go. Right. Nah, that one doesn't look right. At the same time, that one looks... Malk, it just buggered. Yep. If there's one thing you can definitely say about me is I use the word bugger a lot. And bollocks. Bugger and bollocks, that's what you come here for, apparently. And holy. Holy buggered. Holy buggered with the bollocks. There you go. And thank you, Torian, for your contribution to the SCP Stream Challenge. I need to look into getting Spotify. I realise this is really... Having no audio, apart from me talking, is really, really weird. Especially when I'm used to at least having game audio in the background at the same time. I now see why a lot of artists, when they do these streams, why they put on music. Okay, so now we can do things like this, and this and that, just to give a bit more floofiness. No, that's just pointing the wrong way. That's looking really good. Well, if we zoom out a bit more, it's looking a lot better on the legs now. Let's put the colour back on. Oh, the base colour doesn't even look all that bad. I obviously need to tidy it up around that area, but it doesn't look too bad. Don't over fluff. Yeah, I was just thinking that's either enough or that might be a little bit... Actually, I think maybe that last one was maybe a bit too much. Although I do want to... this one. I want to redo this one to make it look a bit more like fluff and a little less like just a line. No, that doesn't look right. Doesn't look right at all. That's better. Just have to reverse it, that's all. I can't do the same with this one as well, because then... Actually, no. No reasons. Also in the upper half of the fluff upwards. Like, really? I just undid that, or... No, it wasn't. No, it was... No, that's exactly what I was doing, I think. That went a bit too wild. Just a bit too long. That's just a bit not line enough. There we are. Not too happy with how that one went. That looks a bit better. Ish. Sort of that. There we go. There we are. That looks better. That one now doesn't look right. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. Well, it's not all fine. It will be, though. That doesn't look right at all. Actually, yeah, that looks okay. Yeah. Just shorten that a bit. Shorten it, and maybe there. Now that just doesn't look right at all. No, screw it. Get out. You get out of there completely. Let's do that bit as well. Right, now we can go back on doing corrections and fills. Okay, yeah, that looks alright. Now for the fun part. I don't want to do both of those. Erasing. No, I don't want this to be on multiple layers. How the feck do I change that to be? No, multiple layers. I don't want it to be multiple layers. I just want it to be. Is it hard? Will that do it? That does it. Awesome. Sarah's attacking your phone. Totally not making a target for her to go after. Totally not. I would never do something like that. She's biting where my face is. Ham. Apparently everyone wants a taste of the dragon. Okay, why is that just so inanely small? That's a bit better. So yeah, fun fact about this tablet. I got it from a second-hand place. It's a place I usually get all of my second-hand stuff from, so there's nothing no issue with that. But I looked up what grade it was, because it does a grading system, and basically the better grade it is, i.e. the better condition it is, the more they'll sell it for, and the more they'll give someone for it. So this was a grade B tablet, which basically means that it's in perfect working order, it's not absolute mint condition. So it's like, okay then, well that's fine. I looked through it, and it all seems to be here, apart from what I have found out. It's supposed to come with a cleaning cloth for the screen, and a bunch of spare nibs for this, as well as some colourings for this. This has one colouring attached to it, no spare nibs, and no cleaning cloth. Everything else is there, just not those. So I'm guessing that whoever got this took those things out of it and then resold it. Which would not surprise me in the least, but I'm not going to complain because it's a good tablet still. Thank you, Torian, for reminding me to save. And I will do exactly that. Save. Saved. Now, because of the way that the display is, you can't see when I select the files to save. Well, you can see my cursor coming over here and doing that, but you can't see when the actual menus come up. But if you're ever in doubt, if you look very closely here, there will be a little mark besides that saying when I haven't saved, or when there's been changes made that I haven't saved. So yeah, we can do by that. So I'll just go and get these windows back up because I forgot to do that. And mark is completed. Star, if you recall correctly, yes, indeed it is an asterisk or star or however you want to call that symbol. See, here's where it starts looking a bit messier. It's fine. It's fine. This is why digital art exists the way it does, is so you can make changes and sort out issues like this far easier. Far easier. It's been too long since you used CSP. That's completely fair. I started using it, and basically since I got over my new program anxiety with it, I was like, oh, this just works really well. I'm still learning this, like literally, like I am nowhere near as competent with this as I want to be. I'm not even as comfortable with this as I was with the with sketching thing that I had on the first tablet I had. But it's a learning process. Okay, so that looks to be all that colour sorted. So let's colour in this bit. I'm trying to find a nice big glob of body. There's fill. Refer only to editing layer. Oh no, wait, no, I want to refer to other layers because I want to be able to put in the base colour, and it refers to the line art as well. Oh my god, why is it not taking? It's fine. It's all fine. Honest, it's fine. Yeah, good enough, and I'll close in the gaps like this. I'm not going to be too worried about some of these because, as you may have seen from the previous one, I'm not like it's supposed to have like a kind of a layered look to the fur, and the lower layer has a different colour to it than the rest of the fur. Although the body underneath, that's the same colour. Also, I just realised that the slight issue with me having music on via Spotify is you actually get me involuntarily humming along to it. No one wants to hear that. Really? Seriously? There's actually something there? Oh, there we go. There we are. I don't know why that didn't take, but fine. Fine. Go back to line art and do some more erasing, because there we go. There we are. Right. Okay, so now we need to use the darker fur, which is an issue because I've just realised that the colour I usually take for the darker fur is this one. Oh, Jesus Christ, what the hell's happened there? Let's colour that back in as it's supposed to be. No idea how that happened. Wait a minute. Haven't done what I thought I have I? Okay, no, good. I actually was on the right layer. Good, good. Good! For once. But yeah, so I've been using this colour for the darker fur, but I've realised that that's actually the colour I'm using for his scales. Bollocks. Which I think is just a darker version of this red anyway, the same red that I use for this anyway, so yeah, hey. That's fine, it's fine, it's fine, it's going to be just a... Yeah, we'll do this so it's a little bit darker, but it's not as dark as the rest of it. We'll do that for the under fur. And it'll look, hopefully, miles better. Every time I say miles, I always think of Tails from Sonic the Hedgehog. Because Miles Taylor Miles Taylor? Miles Tails Prowler. No idea where they came up with that name for him, but that's what we're left with. Whether they're going to reference that in the new movie that's coming out, I don't know. Or whether we're just going to get names Tails. Either way, looking forward to that one. Really, really looking forward to Sonic the Movie too. And the best reaction to the trailer I've seen is like, I don't like, Idris Elba didn't mean to make Knuckles sound sexy, but he did. Because it's Idris Elba. And his voice. Ooh. Ooh, Idris Elba's voice. So if you didn't want Knuckles to sound sexy, you should have taken a different voice actor. You really should. Yes. Glad I'm not alone in this camp. Just take this, realise that could do with a bit more colour going here around these lines. Yeah, I'll go back to this and resume what I was doing. I also had a very brief moment of horror when watching that trailer. Just brief, because I was worried at first. When Robotnik came on, when he came on screen, I was like, I didn't recognize him at first. I did not. Wow, obviously I recognized him as Robotnik because I know Sonic the Hedgehog, but I didn't recognize it as being Jim Carrey. I was like, oh no, they haven't replaced him, have they? Please tell me they haven't replaced him. They started speaking like, nope, that's Jim Carrey. Just Jim Carrey has got that amazing trait that I have not seen in a lot of actors called rubber face. And he could change and do shit with his face. Like, I don't even know how you do that. Like, in like some of his in a lot of his early movies, when he contorts and twists his face, that ain't CGI, that ain't makeup, that's just him. I think the funniest and almost like borderline scariest version of that I saw was that he did the Grinch. That's just his face. Obviously, they put makeup on, but he just sat there in an interview once and just pulled the Grinch face. Like, how the fuck do you have that much elasticity in your face? What the fuck do you take? Anti-Botox? Apparently, they changed his law for the movie because Knuckles in the games and comics is underage, so the movies put him in his 20s. Why? I don't know. I don't know. Let's zoom out. There, that looks... Why is that all gone now, though? Because I had that hidden. But yeah, by comparison, yeah, the stuff on his right leg looks a lot better than the stuff on his left. Although part of me wants to go in and fill in these little. Not so sure. I'll just zoom in. These bits. These bits here. Part of me wants to go and fill in those bits, but no. That would just make things look weird if I do. It's just me being overly zealous with what I'm trying to do. Right, okay, so now we're going back to erasing this. I'm going to do the same on this side now. I love how I was talking to a couple of people saying I should go in and stop adjusting things and making corrections and just call this and just skip on to shading and call this done. And yet here I am completely fixing both legs things and making me want to fix the neck and shoulder stuff as well. Because I know that if I don't do it, I'll just be tempted to go back and do it anyway. So me calling this finished wouldn't have any effect because I still would feel compelled to finish those bits of it. Which I'm very, very, very certain Imoto will be giggling at, because that's just... if that's just where that is, you can just delete that. Yep, delete the layer. Don't need it. Because literally I've just been using that to have stuff around the lower layer of fur, but with the way that I've been doing it like on the other side, don't need it anymore. There we go. Messy as that looks. So wait, what's this? Why is this? What is that? That's part of the base colour as well. Just tidy these bits up. And that. And bring that back into visual. Yeah, I put it part of the. Oh boy, oh boy, I've. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. It's all fine. It's not fine. Just take off a chunk of that, because otherwise it will annoy me. And in all honesty, it actually looks much better as a shape to follow for Imari's thigh. So go back onto line art, and if we... Actually, no, you know what, I could have used another layer there anyway. No, I want that to go down one. Yeah. Looks very out of place. I think I might need to just... There we are. There we go. That's better. Close enough. It's only to be serving as a guide anyway. Oop, wrong rotation. Oh yeah. But yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to toggle, make toggleable on the button, so I could just, rather than having to go over here and press these zoom buttons and rotation buttons, I can just press the buttons on the tablet itself and it will do it then. Now, Brain's frying now because I'm looking at the reference I've got, and the reference is only showing for one way, and my brain is saying, well, how do I need to convert that to the other way? It's like, easy, just flip it in your head, and my brain just going, eh. My brain is a very, very academic sort of brain. It is not the sort of brain that can take an image like that and just flip it around in its head. It's also possibly the reason why non-screen tablets don't work for me. If I'm not directly seeing the impact of what I'm doing, then it's very hard for me to visualize. Okay, so let's see. Go down like that. I went a bit too far. Just a teeny tiny bit too far. Oh, I can't escape that kind of thing. I really can't. I just looked up because I saw something in the corner of that screen. I was like, X person is now playing Final Fantasy XIV. It's like, God damn it. It's a bit too angular. That's a bit too outwards. Needs to be more down, because even magical Floof has to adhere to gravity somehow now and then. No, it doesn't look right. Ugh. That was a bit too far to one side than I was wanting. Something look a bit better. Just get rid of that because that didn't look right. Those three all starting at the same point really did not look right. Actually, if I put virtue, that doesn't look right either. That's the wrong one. Nope. Spots. And gone. No, I don't want to buy followers. Followers are meaningless. Unless you are going for affiliate, unless you're in the road to affiliate, followers are meaningless in Twitch. Floof is going a bit too long. Actually, no, the Floof is kind of... Okay. Sometimes if my brain is just saying, oh wait, no, you need to do this, 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 and this, and it's like getting a bit overactive with what if I just say, shut the fuck up, brain, and just swish my hand, and I don't know if that works more often than not. Sometimes it just goes completely wrong, and then my brain just laughs, and it's like, oh, fine, fuck you. Go fuck yourself, brain. Right there. That should be fine. Delete that. Proceed. The only thing that I will need to do, I think, is go back into line art and put that in there, because that's a continuation of his leg rather than floof over it. Oh, right. And also, as I'm thinking about it, I could just remove this bit. There we are. That's not so bad. I have to do base colour. I need to tidy up this bit. Oh, excuse me. Remnants of my previous attempt at the floof. Excuse me. There we go. That's all clean up. Actually, that needs a bit more clean up there. And we're good. Although, if I go back into line art, I've noticed I do need to just clean that bit up there. Yeah. Just get that. And close that off there. All good. Oh, feck. Oh, so I've been drawing the lines on this side in 7 point, and that's all in 4 point. Bollocks. Bollocks, 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 bollocks. Bollocks, bollocks, fuck, shit, bollocks, ass, twat, wank, bollocks. Ah. God, I hate that. It's fine. It's fine, I can fix it. I can do a fix. I'll be fine, I'll be fine. Be okay. We'll be alright on the night. It's not night time, I know, but still. How would I go about redrawing that? I suppose I could put a new layer, like. I suppose I put a new layer and then just trace over those and then doing it again. Yeah. Yeah, hello and welcome. Jeez, good thing I don't need to best behaviour before that. Hope everyone's having a nice day. Yeah, not doing too bad. Had my booster shots. Had some sleep. Doing art, getting along with it. Yeah. Overall, not bad, not bad. How are you? How is things with you, Nia? I don't know why I'm bothering to clean this up. I'm going to be going completely over it as well. Meh 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 meh. Meh 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 meh. Meh meh meh. Right. So, blue. Take a blue one to this. Just ignore the colour, ignore the colour. It's fine, it's fine. It's all fine. You know what? I'll do it that way. So now I know, I can see where my pen is meant to be going. Woohoo! Yippee! Waha! Ah. Oh, sorry. I just before I was streaming this, I was wasting time. Well, it's not wasting time. I was really spending time. Doug put up a new video of where he plays through Smash Brothers on classic mode on the hardest difficulty level, but if he says the name of any of the characters in the game, he has to die and restart the whole run, which is it sounds fine. But then you realise that Doug is the sort of person who puts the word "like" into sentences, just as, you know, as a subconscious thing. And there is a character in the game called Ike, and it keeps picking up whenever he says "like." He says, "You just said Ike, dumbass." Yeah, that was fun to see. Someone tried to trick him, saying like, "Oh my god, Doug, you're really good at this. You should take a bow, sir." He caught onto it, but my good god, that would have ended a run so quickly. Coca really had the weirdest freaking nightmare tonight that woke me up at 7. So that was a thing. Other than that, meh, boring day. So I tried to loop here again, but it's just not as fun anymore. That's completely fair now. I'm sorry to hear you had a nightmare, and hope your day improved on the back of that. But yeah, I've watched Brett play Loop Hit. I've watched Brett play Loop Hero a fair few times now. As we all know, I'm not a fan of roguelikes or roguelites either. It's like the whole genre in general does not really appeal to me. If it's like Hades, it's completely different. Hades really is a different type of roguelite, and it really grabs me. I watched Loop Heroes like, I am bored watching this. That's not good. At least when he plays Binding of Isaac. I can't stand playing Binding of Isaac, but I'm happy to watch it. And a lot of roguelikes and roguelites I'm happy to watch, because, you know, the gameplay is at least interesting to watch. I just don't like it myself. Dead Cells is another one. I don't like playing it, but I don't mind watching it. But Loop Heroes like this just looks tedious. Just will not mesh with my head. Malcolm's new Mario, I see. I prefer to think of myself as a Luigi. You know, the taller one, because Mario is short as fuck. Well, yeah. Like, so it's been a long time since I played Smash Brothers. A long time. The last one I played Smash Brothers was Melee. Yeah, the GameCube one. Super Smash Brothers Melee. Or was it Brawl? No. Whichever the N64 version, not N64, GameCube, whichever the GameCube version of Smash Brothers was, that's the last one I played. And I know they've added a fuckload more characters to it since. And yeah. Yeah. So the number of times he got caught out, I was like, I didn't even realise that was a Smash Brothers character. What the fuck? Risk of Rain 2 is one of those roguelikes that dares you to break the game in 2 hours until God Run will still kill you. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, Risk of Rain again is another one that isn't for me. I'll happily watch it, but it's not. It doesn't grab me enough properly. I used to play Loop Hero a lot when I first found out about Steam Unlocked. It was nice, but now I just don't feel like it. That's completely fair. That is completely fair. Yeah, it is 100% okay to not be into something that you were beforehand, because you know, humans Humans change their opinions and likes all the time. It's not a bad thing, it's a sign of progress and growth. It's just what your brain does. Wigrin, hello and welcome. Had no idea it was going to happen today. Yeah, sorry about that, Wigrin. Yeah, I did advertise it, but I realised it was only I only mentioned it in streams, and I think I only mentioned it in 2 streams. Oh god, that one didn't go well. So yeah, it's entirely possible that you weren't there for when I actually advertised this, so I apologise for that. Profusely. Close enough. 90% of them anime sword fighters. Oh god. I mean, I remember watching a reveal where Sephiroth got introduced. I was like, okay. I was like, yeah, I like Sephiroth. I really do. I think he's a very well done villain, and he's, you know, his design is awesome, and yeah. But if I wanted to play Sephiroth in a fighting game, I'd play the Final Fantasy fighting game Dissidia. Because, you know, I like that game. Even though that's actually made it to a mobile game now. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But remember, I used to have the first Dissidia on my PSP, and the best match I had was recreating the final fight between Cloud and Sephiroth. I did a match up between me playing Cloud, computer playing Sephiroth, computer set to the max difficulty, and the battle stage was in the planet's core. Holy fuck, that was epic. You've now given me the urge to take the Velociraptor meme template and attempt to make a version for you. Go for it, Nia. Go for it completely. You are more than welcome to. I'm very certain that if you ask nicely to either Ten or Scoo, they'll quite happily help you convert the Velociraptor picture into my avatar. I'm very, very certain they will help that. No, I'm so tired right now for a good reason this time. Oh. I see that winking face, Woodgren. I see that. I'm glad that whatever has happened has happened. It definitely seems to be the tiredness. The tiredness reason is a welcome one. That's all good. Moto, sorry, here kind of secret designs happening. Hey, Moto, remember what I told you about that? I said not to worry about it because, you know, real life stuff takes priority, and, you know, that plan takes priority. These streams aren't going to be as rare as they used to be. There is no pressure. Just remember that. Just remember. Oh, Jesus. No, that's not. There we go. No, that's not right. Oh, it said undo. Yeah. If I rotate you a bit more, there we go. Now I can see what I'm doing and where my pen is going to be going. Because yay! Spoiler alert! When tracing or going over existing lines, it really does help if you can see where the line is going as well as where it is. Otherwise it'll be like trying to run a race but you can't see what's ahead of you. God, can you imagine that? If a 100-meter dash forwards was essentially you had to run forwards, but you had a VR headset on you showing what what was going on behind you. I mean, that would cause so many fucking accidents, but can you imagine the complexity of that? Tripping over yourself, nobody's business. The most fun I've had fighting Sephiroth was back in Kingdom Hearts 1, where I caused him to glitch out and go straight to his fire phase. Oh, now has all 7 plus health bars instead of 1. Also, food coma from large serving extra spicy chili gone kind with rice. Ooh. Ooh, that sounds so good, Widgren. But yeah, like honestly, my favourite matchup versus Sephiroth, it was that one that I did on the PSP, and then the Final Fantasy VII remake came out. That is now my favourite Final Fantasy Sephiroth battle. Okay, so that's how that looks. That doesn't look too bad. Awesome. Right, now we're going to be editing the line art, erasing all this. Malk went and did a dumb. Checked I was on the right layer. That was completely fine. I was on the right layer. I was just using the wrong size tool. Would be cheap as fuck. It would be. Literally. Yeah, the Final Fantasy VII Remake, still haven't played it. I highly recommend playing it, Widgren. I really do. Although I do recommend putting it on easy, because the combat in it is really not great. It's really not good at all. They tried to make the combat a bit too actiony, and it's kind of, in my personal opinion, it fails. It doesn't feel like Final Fantasy anymore. It feels like they took the idea from 15, and went a bit too more action with it. It's like, I don't want to be trying to dodge magic. It's like, I don't know. A lot of the times it's like, yes, I can't dodge magic because it homes in on me and then explodes, but the enemies, nah. They can dodge magic. If they're moving when I set off the cast, it misses. It's like, that's not how magic works. In every single Final Fantasy game, that's not how magic works. Ugh. Yeah, I was not a fan. Was not a fan. They made it too actiony. They did. Honestly, they very much did. The game looks gorgeous. It's a wonderful, wonderful remake. They've done some fantastic work with it. I just wish they hadn't made it an action game. That was basically my one thing with it, is they made it into an action game. I really would have rather they didn't. But a lot of the other stuff they did with it, I really like. I like the story additions. I like the changes. I like the voice acting. Love the visuals, the music. It's all absolutely incredible. The action could have been done. The fighting could have been done a lot better. Like, I see why they wanted to change it the way they did, because they wanted to go in a bit more of a different direction. They probably didn't want to have those visuals just hanging around whilst you sat in a turn-based thing, but that's what Final Fantasy VII always was. It was always turn-based. Excuse me, or active turn-based was the actual term. They just changed that to ATB. Oh, that just means you have a movement gauge. Got that idea from Final Fantasy 13. I didn't like it then, don't like it now. It's been your main issue with any Final Fantasy game since 10. Yeah, I think I agree. I mean, 11 and 14 different, obviously, because they are MMOs. So you have to change the way they control, just because that's what. Right, okay, down to 4 this time. I actually have the right freaking pencils. Let's just do a comparison size-wise. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's definitely 4 point. Now we're doing tracing again. Woo! But yeah, like, I didn't like Final Fantasy 13 doing it. I also didn't not like the thing with they did with Final Fantasy 13. If lightning gets knocked out, game over. It's like, what? I'm sorry, I can control any individual party member as I do in other games. And Phoenix Downs exist. But if lightning gets knocked out, game over. What? Why can't party members use Phoenix Down? Why can't they use life? I didn't like it. I tried with Final Fantasy 13. I tried. Oh, I really did try, but no, it was not for me. That as well. I was game because I want my RPGs in the tradition of Baldur's Gate 4, in the tradition of Icewind Dale, making RPGs with story and emotion. How about a sequel to You Old Bard's Tale? Yeah. I mean, thankfully, there are still studios around that are doing that. They are actually doing things more like the classic role-playing games. It's just that Final Fantasy itself, the way it is, it's a JRPG that has been westernized. That is probably the best way of describing the Final Fantasy series. It's a westernized JRPG. Because if you look at what we're used to for Western RPGs, you have things that are more like, you know, as I said, Baldur's Gate, the old Fallouts, Icewind Dale. Even though I personally count Icewind Dale and Baldur's Gate as being the same thing, even though they're not. Yeah. Planescape Torment as well. Planescape Torment was fucking amazing. I loved Planescape Torment. Really, really did. Still do. Just wish my PC could actually play it reliably. In fact, I own it. I own it on GOG. I know I do. But also in Exile, have made another Torment game. I'm fairly certain it's also set in the Planescape universe as well. Torment Tides of Numenera, which I have and is on the stream queue. I can talk, I promise. I promise I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I also realised that... So here's also the better thing about this tablet, is that I can sit up and be like this, and work on it, and not have to be like I was with the Surface. Because with the Surface, when I was working on it, I had to be like this all the time, because... it's the only way I can actually see things. Like this, I can actually sit up mostly and still work on things. And also, the even better thing over the Microsoft Surface, there's no input lag. Which, my good god, I could deal with the input lag when it was happening, but since doing this with no input lag, ho ho ho. They reminded me to save, DJ. We'll do that right now. And saved. But yeah, it's like... my nostalgia for how RPGs used to be made is why I'm glad that Obsidian and In Exile Entertainment still exist, because they still do that. They still do the classic RPG feel. And like, so Obsidian have done it in doing it in the way of they are using their time with working with Bethesda on Fallout to take advantage of the technology to do the first-person role-playing games, which, oddly enough, when done by a competent developer, they actually work. You know, not Bethesda. As seen with The Outer Worlds, which works and is a stupendously good role-playing game, and I'm still salty as all fuck that Microsoft have stolen it. It just goes to show that it's not always the look and the engine that defines a genre. But also In Exile tend to keep to their roots of doing the classic approach to the isometrics. Which also, it's not a bad thing. I mean, it does look somewhat dated. Like when you play, when I played in Torment Tides of Numenera, I was looking, I was like, this looks really dated. Not in a bad way, but it looks like the old kind of role-playing game. But that is exactly what I wanted. They were just obviously they've used the power of the more modern capabilities to actually make things look a bit nicer, be able to get away with using better textures and on-screen effects and more powerful systems, that sort of thing. Which is why I'm looking forward to using Chronicle, a spiritual successor to Suikoden games by the original creators and writers of Suikoden 1 and 2, to my favourite games of all time. It's all very nice. Never ever got the chance to play a Suikoden game. I mean, in all honesty, I will hold my hands up and admit I'd never heard of Suikoden at all until someone at the local role-playing club said, "Oh, I'm doing this role-playing game. It's based on Suikoden." I was like, "What the fuck is Suikoden?" I looked at it like, that's definitely not something I've played. Which, you know, I almost feel when I look at it, it's like, I kind of feel like I should probably hand in my classic RPG fan card, not having played it. But then again, I know people who have never experienced Fallout 1 and 2. And yes, I played them to completion pretty much when they were released. So I was like, nah, I think I can retain it. Okay, so if I get rid of that, much better. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, let's delete that. Yep. Awesome. Much, much better. Bring the colour in. Let's work on getting this coloured. Give me great story characters and setting over flashy graphics. Wholly agreed. Good music doesn't hurt either. Yeah. Yep, I will definitely agree with you on that one. Which is why I like Disco Elysium. Disco Elysium really does nail it with good story and good characters. It's very, very trippy because it's dealing with a memory loss story. And those are not easy to get away with. And I just realised I've not been doing much in Underfair on this. Oh, bollocks. Because I can easily just say that, oh look, all of these, apart from probably this one down here, and apart from these ones. Oh, tits. Ah. Whereas there's a fair few there, which gives a nice layered look, and there's not many there. Ow, bollocks. Well, time to change things about that. Put there, put on black, let's go on some line art, and let's make a few more of these into under floofs. Do stuff like that, there we go, that's already creates the image that these bits are under floofy. Actually, no, not. This one looks like it could be kind of under floofed. Yeah, that works. If we do that, oh god, then take out this bit there. Actually, you know what? I only found out because of because a friend's older brother had a burnt copy of it that I could play at times, though he since he ever let me save, and I'm playing the first hour of it's a lot, which would make me want to play the rest of it so much more. That's fair. Introduced one of my favourite villains in games as well. Also good. Also very good. A good villain can really, really bring out a game story. That's why there's a lot of hype over Final Fantasy VI with Kefka, because Kefka is apparently one of Final Fantasy's greatest villains. Personally, never really gotten on with Kefka all that much, but then again, I'm also not a huge fan of Final Fantasy VI. Like, I liked it, I played it, I don't recall it amazingly, but yeah. Okay, if we do that, I was under Floof as well. Okay, that should be fine now. Right, get this colour back and fill in these bits. Oh god, that does not look good. That's what I was trying to avoid. What was the redo? I don't know. So I will go in and use this, and that'll be why I was trying to. For sake, I was on the wrong layer. That would probably be why. There we go. Those look. That looks better now because I'm actually putting on the right layer this time. Ah, fuck. Oh, God, it had to happen. Wouldn't be an art stream if I stayed on the correct layer every single time, would it? Something always has to go wrong with an art stream. It has to. If something doesn't go wrong, you're arting wrong. Yes, that is how it works. I won't accept any other answer. If I want to line up, because I can see there's hangover bits there. Colour. If we're talking about gaming villains and favourites, one of my favourites actually does come in from a role-playing game. It's just not what is more typical of role-playing games these days, and it always makes me laugh whenever someone brings up another villain that is very, very clearly inspired by my favourite, saying, "Oh, this one's the greatest, this type of villain of all time." Like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, sure. So, without being more vague on the topic, my favourite gaming villain with role-playing games is actually Shodan from System Shock. I think Shodan was done absolutely amazingly as a villain. And the people that I talk about, comparing something that was inspired by Shodan and saying that they are the greatest AI villain of all time, they say GLaDOS. I'm like, ha, nice try. Shodan I count as being way, way more of a capable villain than GLaDOS. Way more. Best part in my mind was the fact that the stakes of Suikoden 1 and 2 were a lot smaller, more personal than most JRPGs. You aren't stopping the end of the world, just dealing with civil war in 1. Research at war between 2 small countries in the 2 game. Oh, that's not too bad then. It's gone PowerPointy? Weird. Literally all I'm doing is art. Is it still being PowerPointy, or is it going... or is it smoothed out now? Oh shit. Wrong layer. Again. Wrong tool that time. So I'm not showing any lost frames, or dropped frames I should probably say is the correct term. I can't think of anything that's, well, there's nothing that's suddenly come out of nowhere and is in the background. Actually, saying that, that might be the culprit. Steam in 3 instances of OBS, 4 instances. That might have been part of it. Just bring that task manager up and let me have a look. That might be it. CPU's at 100%. Why are there 16 instances of OBS? What the fuck? What the actual fuck? Well, to be fair, I've actually never looked at how much OBS usually should be using. Oh, there we go. That's going down. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Still put, but we said that just in case. Fair. That was for Checky. Showdown, never remember how to spell it, was actually threatening, but then you got the nah, followed by gunshots. Yeah. Yeah, Showdown. Showdown was one of these things that she was always there. She was this omnipresent thing that was actually a threat to you. GLaDOS just insulted you. GLaDOS never actually was a tangible threat to you. The threat was always the Aperture Laboratories. And she didn't really do all that much. She was basically guiding you along to your inevitable death. Because it says now, so everyone parents have that should, yeah. But yeah, but on the flip side, Shodan had control of Citadel Station. She was actively turning the station against you. And she was hunting you with the security systems and the robots, and directing the mutants to you. And it's very much a case of, if you take GLaDOS out of Portal, you have a puzzle game with threats of turrets and all that. All of the stuff that actually can harm you and kill you in Portal still can do that, even without GLaDOS. System Shock, if you took Shodan out of the mix, there's no threat. Well, there's a threat of the mutants, but the robots, not really. The security systems don't do anything. The AI, the hacking stuff, unimpeded. Shodan is a active and present antagonist who keeps trying to also get under your skin. She really tries to get under your skin, get in your mind. Like, she plays mind games with you. And asserts her superiority over you. And I just like that. I just really like how Shodan is done. Which also reminds me, the System Shock remake has been given a potential release date. Wow, release date next year. They are hoping to release the System Shock remake next year. And I am so looking forward to it. I've seen what it looks like. I've played the demo. I am hyped as all fuck for the System Shock remake. Actually happy they couldn't give her full power to simply want the situation. Yeah. 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 Like, I just loved System Shock. I just loved everything about System Shock. That's why I also like the original Bioshock and even Bioshock 2. Because they were spiritual successors to System Shock, and they actually felt like spiritual successors. For me, Bioshock Infinite felt too far detached from System Shock to be a spiritual successor anymore. It didn't feel like it was right in calling itself a Shock game, because, or at least not Bioshock. I've said this before whilst I was streaming it. It's not a Bioshock game. It is a good game in its own right. It just does not belong with the series title of Bioshock. There we go. That's actually looking a lot better. That's looking a huge amount better. Scary thought. Shodan meets Hamlet as that is scary. That's actually kind of legitimately terrifying. Well, now we are. I'm pointedly ignoring a fair other few things that are annoying me about this drawing, because those ones are out of my current knowledge on how to fix. So I'm going to be fixing what I know how to fix. And that's going to be the floofy bits around Imari's shoulders and around his neck. I swear to all the deities I can fucking think of, I will get this fucking thing finished. My aim is to get this finished before it's been going on for a year. So I've got a few months left before that deadline comes, but that's my aim. But yeah. Is that a Fox Dragon hybrid? You're just seeing things. You are absolutely correct, Widgren. It is a Fox Dragon hybrid. And all credit goes to Scoo for that. Because I wrote... I basically commissioned them for artwork of this character. And I had very little image in my mind of what they should look like, or what they would look like. So I pretty much gave Scoo free reign, because I trust them, and they are a far, far better artist than I am. And so I just said, yeah, you know what, go for it. Just, you know, go as you see fit. And then they came back with this Fox Dragon hybrid. I was like, that is way... I had no idea you were going to do that. I loved it. I still love it today. I mean, that's why I keep it. And it's also... Oh, that's... No, that's just, that doesn't work. Whoops. Happened too many times. And also, I mean, this picture itself is actually based off of a sketch that Scoo did. And Scoo basically allowed me to finish the sketch, as it were. So that's what I've been doing for the past year, art-wise, and also struggling to actually get into doing art. But just for, just for clarity's sake. So there's the finished article. Now if I turn this on, and if we take away this, this, and this, that's the original sketch. That is Scoo's original sketch. That is what they sent. That's what they sent me, saying, you know, they had this, and there also exists another one which I'm also working on. But yeah, this is what I got sent, and so I put the layout on it and the color, and we're working on things as you see now. So yeah. Oh yeah, background. Keep forgetting there is a background. I just haven't been doing anything on it. Very bad guys, technically 3 people, it's really 1 person, Brutal Legend, as Daviculus, yes, by being biased fucking never really actually saw that one. Then again, I didn't play Brutal Legend all that much. Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, it works. That works just to keep it filled in there. You figured it was either Scoo or Foxx. You can generally bet that if it's got a Foxx in it, it's been Scoo or Foxx. Also, to be honest, I don't actually have any of Foxx's art I'm working on. All the stuff that I've been given to do my own stuff on top of has been either sketches from Scoo, or I've got some bases that I've bought and downloaded from a artist called Cindy Avellino. You can find her on Gumtree, and she sells bases that you can basically, it's a multi-layered base with different options in the layers that you can basically create a character with those options, and then it's yours to, you know, colour in, which I really quite like. I've also got a couple of other bases that have been given free by Terranan. Terranan? I have no idea how to say her name, but yeah, Terranan is also another one, and she has offered off some bases before, and in all honesty, her work is where I got some of my initial inspiration for how to draw fluffy things. Because as I don't know if you've picked up or not, fluff ain't easy to do. The floofy things are really, really not easy. Pretty and floofy. Thank you, Nia. But yeah. All the line arts is my work on this. All the colours are mine. Well, the colouring in is mine. The colour choices themselves are Scoo's. I basically the picture that Scoo originally did of this character. I basically went in there with a color picker, picked out all the colors and put them into into a palette finder online, and just basically went with that. Unashamedly, because when Scoo went and actually made the character look this way, I was like, yeah, I agree with it so much that I'm just going to take that. Right, now let's erase the colour bleed over. I think the only thing that I've changed massively between mine and Scoo's version of this character is that Scoo's version has a more normal flesh-looking tongue, where I've changed it to blue, as you can see, and Scoo's version had a tail that was a bit more reminiscent of this sort of Floof, which I can't draw properly, as you can very easily see. And then my version, I did that tail for him. I basically did that when I went on holiday for about a week or so to my parents. That's what I did. I spent pretty much the entire time redesigning the tail to look like that. I'm happy with how that came out. Used to try and draw, but mostly ended up doodling in the borders of other things. That's completely fine. Doodling is underrated as an art form. It is a good way to get your creative juices flowing. There is nothing wrong with doodling whatsoever. The thing that I always find kind of hilarious is when other artists I know say, "Oh yeah, this is my warm-up sketch." I'm just like, warm-up sketch? The fuck's a warm-up sketch? I know Scoo does warm-up sketches. I've seen the ones they do. It's like, your warm-up sketches are better than my actual drawings. But then again, Scoo has been drawing for at least 20 years, possibly longer, quite very possibly longer. So this is why I don't go about lamenting the fact that Scoo can draw better than I can. Same with 10, because they've had a lot more practice than I have. I have only been drawing, like I say, probably for about a year or so. And it's not even been consistent. I cannot say that I've been drawing for a year, because there's been so many gaps in me actually sitting down and drawing. I honestly think the amount of time I spent drawing is 20 hours. I mean, I used to take art classes when I was 16, but that was very much not... it wasn't optional, shall we say. It was very much, you will do this. As part of your education, you will take art classes. Like, cool, I hate art. It actually got me hating art. I never wanted to do art because of those classes, especially with the kind of things they wanted me to kind of draw. I'm like, I really don't want to do that. Oh. Of course. Of course, I was trying to erase something. I was like, why isn't that erasing? Because I wasn't trying to erase the line art. I think I was actually about to start drawing on the base colour thing as well, so it's a good thing I checked that. These are the hard things to draw: hands, feet, fluffy, and faces. Yeah. Unless you're friggin' Zira. Zira actually can draw hands really well and takes pleasure in doing so. But then again, Zira also used to go to school with the guy who ended up drawing Snoopy in the Peanuts cartoons and comics. She actually went to school with that guy. Or at the very least did art classes with them. But yeah. If you see Zira's drawings, pay attention to the hands. She's good with hands, and she actually likes doing them. 10 is really good with hands, but she doesn't like drawing them. And if you look at artists as well, like this is something that I have found myself. Artists have their own styles, to avoid drawing things they hate doing. Like, I've seen a lot of artists, and all of their characters have their hands in their pockets or in a hoodie. And it's like, you just don't like drawing hands. It's like, it's very clear you hate drawing hands. And then you've got some furry artists. I massively think that one of the first things on the road to being a furry artist is you don't want to draw hands or feet, so you draw paws instead. And they're slightly easier. She what? Yeah. Zero either went to school or took art classes with the guy who drew Peanuts. There's Zero's claim to fame for you. So I am more likely to think it was art classes that she did alongside him, because it's always been an art discussion that she's told me about that, because, you know, that's just always been the context that's been brought up. Jesus Christ, they've been doing this for 2 hours. Doesn't feel like 2 hours. Okay, so we are going to do Floof. I'm just saying these are going to go these are going to look like shoulder pauldrons. Just already see it. That's way too long. Someone I used to know was pretty good at drawing. He made a picture called Steampunk Spider-Man, and his article name was JP set on DeviantArt. Try googling Steampunk Spider-Man, Jim says, and the first option should be his work. Let's look. Giving Peanuts began in 1950. I'm guessing it was classed with the guy. Yeah. Oh God. Let's see. Steampunk Spider-Man. JPJZ. Let's look. Holy fuck! Oh, that's good. That's really good. Damn. Draw more shades of just girl hate drawing faces. Yeah. I don't know many people who like drawing faces. Again, also, furry art, you don't have to draw faces. Well, you do, just, you know, they're different kinds, because, let me tell you, that face, that's a lot easier than drawing a human face. Believe me, that is a lot easier than a human face. Because the even better thing with doing furry art or fantasy art, you don't have to obey the rules. Try to feel good about your doodling with him saying he next to you as an art class. Jesus Christ, yeah. If I looked over and saw my classmate doing that, I was like, and I'm closing my sketchbook and I'm just sitting here. I mean, that would have been my attitude had I been, you know, in the class there, because me have confidence about my art? Never. Never. Don't have it now. Definitely would never have had it then. That's not alright. That's better. Okay, so if we... Okay, so if we start the thing around about here, I suppose. Which is supposed to, like, more of this is supposed to be floofy, but... Yeah. No, that's alright, actually, to make it easier, I probably should have been doing that. that should be fine, shouldn't it? Just zoom out a bit. Yeah, it's a small shock of fur. The bits on your shoulders are only supposed to be small bits anyway, so yeah, that works. So I don't know if it's me, Twitch, or you, but you're mostly out of PowerPoint, but PowerPoint does go in. Yeah, that was probably recently because I did a Google search. That's probably what part of that was, at least. Okay, so if I do that and do that's just a bit too much there, I think. Yeah. And I have to remember not to over floof. It's a bit too much there. Yeah, that works. That works. Delete that layer. Yep. Back to the line art. Get a bit of a thicker brush just for doing this bit here. You know what, that needs to go like that a bit, just to even that out a little bit more, because it was a bit jarring with the thick line going into thin. Might have posted to another picky main class. You go for it, Widgren. Go right ahead. Awesome. Right. If we go back onto this, although to be fair with this bit, there's not as much need to clean up here because I managed to cut down on the bits outside anyway. And just go pop, 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 pop. Do, 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 do. So satisfying doing that sometimes. When it wants to work, that is so satisfying with doing the fills. There. Right, now we do this to go over that bit. That's the link. That'll be why. So my cursor is showing on the on the stream down there, as you can see, but it's also showing down here on the tablet because that's where it is. So when I move my mouse to go and click on something in chat, my eyes see it moving here, but also see it on there. So I think, oh look, it's just there. So I move it slightly to the right. I think, oh wait, that's not where it is. So, Quest could not be satisfied. What? Okay. Jesus! Good God. Envy. Ah, one day I'll reach that level of skill myself. One day. My God, it does. It looks good. Let's look at the same, but so now I'm thinking why I only do Team Steampunk. I love Steampunk. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Wait, why is that there? That looks like that's a line art bit. Yeah, it is. As does that. Yeah, it was. So I make that's that one. 1 hour made in 1 hour. Yeah. That will always baffle me, but that is down to practice. Honestly, it is. Like, I've watched people like Jace, Scoo, and Mori. I've watched them do art, and the speed at which they can do things is absolutely astounding to me. It really is. Like, it's just like it actually feels like sometimes I'm watching the stream. I look away, like, you know, to get a drink or something, or like, you know, I do something else, like a couple of minutes. I look back, like, how the fuck How have you done something that would take me an hour or so in a couple of minutes? Black magic sorcery. But no, it is all just down to practice, honestly. But I know exactly how that feels. Looking at something is like, how the fuck do you do that fast? And your best friend drew Katara as the Fire Lady, as in Fire Lord, but you know she's a lady. An artist he really admired took his drawing and drew it in their own style. First drawing then shows up when you look at Fire Lady Katara is either the artist or the artist. I can't remember. And so now the artist getting involved. Great. Oh, good. So a female Spawn is pretty impressive as well. That's his gunslinger Spawn. Cheers. Like, hey guys, found this really cool design by his Tumblr name and decided to draw mine as well. Wow. Now that's the kind of exposure that you kind of want. Not the whole thing of like, oh well, if you do this art for me for free, I will give you exposure. It's like, no, pay me. But that kind of thing is like, you know, I found this person, I found this drawing online by this person, and I loved it so much I wanted to draw it on my own style, or you know, did fan art of it. That's good. That's the kind of exposure you'll be wanting. It would have sucked, yeah. Again, I've done the same thing as I did on the other side with no underfur. Fuck's sake. God damn it. It's fine. Well, at least I immediately saw that I was going too thick. Remember him showed it to me on the bus. He was absolutely radiant. Yeah. Yeah, just. Yeah, there's a fair few people that would I'd probably have the same effect on me if they did that. Yeah, there's a couple. Don't know if it would ever happen, but you know, hope springs eternal. Yeah, there we go. Bit of a laying thing there, just so we can have something to go on. Take that colour because it is the under Floof colour. Get back up here. Go back on the base colour layer and fill in. I mean, you know, there is the whole joke about, you know, notice me senpai and all that, but when an artist you really admire and look up to recognizes your work in that sort of way, you do kind of get into thing of eee! Just sometimes, you know, your favorite artist even knowing and acknowledging you exist. Sometimes even that's enough. Also, is anyone here familiar with Petson and Findus by Sven Nordqvist? The name rings a bell. Nordqvist rings a bell. But I'm not familiar enough with Petson and Findus to be able to accurately put a finger on it. Okay, so this part of the floof is going to be a lot more subdued because it is it's hidden by his neck floof. Neck floof will definitely be getting a massive redesign as well. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this bit of floof, and then I'm probably going to call it there. Just because I can feel my arm getting a bit... My arm's getting a bit iffy, and I should probably go and get some food as well. Because I have eaten. I ate since the booster, but it was literally a sandwich and a packet of Wotsits. So I should probably get on doing more something more food-wise. Also, the advantage is that I don't need to worry about power batteries or something like that. Children books. Excuse me. No, I definitely have not read any children's books by that name. art. So I might actually need to erase a little bit more of the line art there, just to make room. Just to make some room for the floof that I'm doing here. Fine. Go back into, now we go back into layer 2 with the blue there, and just go woo. With a bit of a thicker woo. There we go. Back onto line art, go back to black, and go back to 4. And there. It's a bit too close. Yeah, that'll work. Just put in some under floof there. That should work. Now if I take that and the line art, get rid of that so it can show up the floof a bit more, soften that line down a bit on both sides, and then draw up like that. There we go. Should work. Yep. Have to do that. That. There we go. There we go. So same note, I did a Google and the first picture of the page of the boss is just stuff around the room and the fucking detail on it. Ooh. Right. Fuck's sake. Oh. I was actually on the right one. Well, you know. Never mind. Never mind my little outburst of fuck's sake. I was doing right all along. Pop, pop, pop. I lived outside the town I grew up in. I was regular doing filling out projects in the school. Designed a playhouse in the kindergarten. I was in as well as some stuff throughout the school. Very nice. Very, very nice. There we go. How many input did you have there? Yeah. My brush with artist fame is if any of you have read any of the Black Library stuff by Games Workshop, I had a little chat with the guy who illustrates the books of those, or illustrated some of them. I even got him to sign my copy of Legion. I also met Dan Abnett, who wrote Legion, and he signed my book. He's my book. Like, I think I brought it back with me, but I do have a signed copy of Legion by Dan Abnett and the illustrator. And Dan Abnett actually crossed out his author name in it and wrote "I am Alfarius," which I loved. Welcome back, Torian. That's the line art. Wrong layer. There we go. Continue does hide small things in the backgrounds and everything. Always fun to try and find. Oh, nice. Very nice. Take the colour picker, grab that one. And now, go in there. Oh god, I can hear myself getting more nasally. Ooh. Yeah, I think having had a cold and just coming out of this flu or whatever it was, and then getting the booster, I think that might knock me for six again. Might do. We'll see. We'll see how I go. Are you sure he isn't or was Omegon? Who knows? You can never tell with the two of them. Never can tell. Yeah, there we go. Bit more volume to the floof there. Yeah. I'd say that is a vast improvement on how it looked beforehand. Stop doing whatever it is. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Yeah. Myers, Sean Corsi worked on the background in Silent Habits for a while and now owns Any Means Necessary. Oh, very nice. Thank you for reminding me to save Torian. Also approves of Floof. Yes. Or even if there are two of them, yeah. That's the thing I always loved about the Alpha Legion. I always, ever since I heard about them, I played as the Alpha Legion. So alright. That's where I'm going to be ending things for today. Well, not today, but yeah, that's where I'm going to be leaving things for this stream. Oh, I can feel myself getting congested as well. Oh, great. I better go make myself some medicine, which I'll do after this. Yeah, do this and queue up for Final Fantasy 14, I think. Play that for a few hours until I do my next stream. I'll do them. Program point for me. Go for it, Torian. You go for it. Thanks for redeeming the save, goddammit, DJ, but I'm gonna refund that because I already did. Thank you for the hydration reminder, Widgren. Yeah, I'll wait for Torian to give their program advice. Oh, the hydration is what you wanted. Well, you got the points back from doing the save, goddammit. Thank you for the hydration, DJ. Yeah, I'll wait for Torian's program pointer and then I will exit out. Right above the name of the file, there's buttons, the one with an arrow to point down is the save button. Oh! That I didn't know. It makes sense though. Thank you for that, Torian. I will try and remember that for next time. Who knows? Which hopefully... Ow! Oh, there's the side effect. Oh, ow, yeah. There we go. Arrow to the hard drive is essentially the icon. Because the current generation won't know the relevance of a floppy disk. God, I feel old. If it had been a floppy disk, then yeah, I would have known that as being the save icon. But that down thing, to me, that says download. That's the download button on websites. That's what that is. That's download, not fucking save. Feels so fucking old. It makes sense, but still. Because, oh, the whole agony of, you know, someone bringing a floppy disk in into a classroom, and the first thing one of the students said is, "Oh, cool, you 3D printed the save icon." I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, and so few people knowing what a zip disk is. I mean, to be fair, a zip disk is a lot more obscure because it never caught on. Or VHS tapes, yeah. Downloading is saving some aspects. Yeah, it's saving from the internet to your computer, so yeah, I see that. Yeah, I can see the logic behind that. But, like, yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Shirt's almost done. Only someone wants to see after stream. Well, yes, I do. Yes, I definitely do. Might as well take a while, of course. Yeah, it was. Yeah. Yep, definitely do want to see a moto. Don't think you know what a zip disk is. A zip disk is essentially, it looked similar to a floppy disk, only a bit bigger, a bit chunkier, and had a fuck ton load more memory capacity. Like, we're talking like, a floppy disk had a capacity of like, I don't know, 6.4 megabytes. A zip disk had like 128 megabytes. They were fucking massive. A zip disk was fucking massive for the time. Sadly, it was it basically got overrun by CDs, because CD-RW drives, to rewrite them and burn them, were really easy to get hold of and really cheap and really easy to use. So people would, like, it felt like the zip disk should have been a stopgap between the floppy disk and the CD, but a stopgap was never needed or done. It just went from floppy disk to CD. Zip disk just fell out of use. Same with mini discs. Mini discs never really caught on either, because again, no one really needed them. MP3, dedicated MP3 players were, when they first came out, they were wild. They were really wild. So out of floppy disk is what I grew up with as a save icon. Yeah, same. So just with a chunky floppy disk, right? Yeah. Yep. You knew what that is the name. Ah, fair. Hey, I watched all the Star Wars and Dragon Ball movies on tape with my dad. VHS tapes still relevant here when I was a little kid. Yeah. Or cassettes. Cassette tapes. That's another one. That is another one for audio stuff. Or the little miniature ones they had in answer machines. Those are weird. And the fact that to wind a cassette tape if the tape got pulled out, shoving the pencil through the hole and turning it. Yeah. Who showed up in Mission Impossible 1? Jesus. Just makes you realise how old the Mission Impossible films are, and we're talking the ones with Tom Cruise. Not even mentioning the fact that Mission Impossible is from the fucking 60s. Wish the mini disc had gotten more widespread, imagining a combination of the GameCube disc and the mini disc. Yeah, because that was pretty much the same size. The GameCube disc is essentially a mini disc without the case, essentially. At least in terms of design. But yeah, can you imagine GameCube games have been done on mini discs? And it was just you have this like rectangle of plastic you just slot into the thing. Would have been awesome. And had the spin-up speed of pretty much a GameCube and the capacity of a GameCube disc. Would have been good. Would have been really good. But no, mini disc players never really caught on all that much. I had 2 of them in my whole lifetime, I think. I went through 2 mini disc players. And most of it was just, stuff I downloaded off the internet and put onto mini disc. Or ripped albums from CDs and put them onto mini disc. Because a mini disc player was a lot more portable than a CD player. So say that mini disc had better sound than any CDs. Yeah, I do agree. I do definitely agree. You either spend 7 years colouring a Raptor a vivid red, or I can leave it looking like it was flayed because the colour replacement tool is not as good as I hoped it was. My advice, Nia? Send that to Torian or Scoo and ask them very nicely. They'll more than happily help you with that. More than happily. Especially seeing as my icon, well, that and my main red icon were both done by Scoo. So they'll know how to get the colouring right. That one wasn't done by Scoo. That is a pre-existing one. Scoo bought a 3-pack of those, and there's one of each colours. Excuse me. There's a red one, a blue one, and a green one, and Scoo basically bought them. Gave me the red one, gave Torian the green one, and kept the blue one for themselves. Yeah. And Scoo was talking about rigging up, well, making the art for a new VTuber model for me. I got your icon from Google Images. How the fuck? Wow, I'm on Google. Ha! Well, I suppose yeah. With me being on Twitch and on YouTube and uploading fairly frequently, I guess if you type in Malkaya into that, you will get my image. So coloring should be okay. That's fair. On Epic Games, Mutant Year Zero Roadie is free. Ooh. If only I didn't already own that. Yeah, I already have that on PS4. Good game, really good game. Fucking hard as nails though. The difficulty curve in that is annoyingly bad. Really annoyingly bad. Actually, the only thing I didn't like about Mutant Year Zero is that every single battle was a really difficult one. And the introduction of that enemy that could stun lock you, didn't like that. Like my ability, your abilities in Mutant Year Zero are on a cooldown, and they cool down over killing enemies. Enemy abilities they can just use whenever they like. And I think Borman was on his own, and he was the one who could stun, but he was up against this guy that could also stun every single round. Stun, shoot, stun, shoot, stun, shoot. It's like, I can't do anything. I literally cannot do a fucking thing. So I just sat there and died. Some of Zero's drawings showed up as well. Nice. I laugh at the fact that the game takes place in post-apocalypse Sweden. Yeah. I still remember the fertility crown. Oh, finding the fertility crown absolutely fucking broke me. It was so funny. Oh. It is good though. It is a very good game, but like I say, it is intentionally really fucking hard. Basically, the people who made Mutant Year Zero looked at XCOM and thought it was for casuals. That's how I would describe Mutant Year Zero's difficulty. It's like if your only way of getting a challenge on XCOM is to play it on the hardest difficulty level with Iron Man enabled, Mutant Year Zero is for you. Oh, ow! Yeah, my arm. Yeah, my arm's really, really hurting now. Oh, that's fine. I'm going to go and make myself some cold medicine, and then I'm going to just, I don't know, exist for a bit. But yeah, this is I'm going to be ending things for now. Next stream is going to be tonight at 1 AM, where I'm going back to Dark Souls 3, trying to get through it again, and if I die, then I'm taking a shot, because I still have my shots. Leather Flex in the Year Zero tabletop, same. I loved it in the game as well. The flavour text in it is just so good. So good. Ooh. Oh. Excuse me. But yeah. After that, tonight, tomorrow is going to be at 4 PM GMT, where I'm doing RPG Thursday, going back to Disco Elysium. Tonight's stream and tomorrow's one are going to be with the VTuber model. I didn't think that my computer was going to be able to handle running Steam, Clip Studio Paint, and the VTube Studio software, as well as all my usual stream stuff. It's a bit... it's a bit potato-y. Like how the miracle seed planted bought by a farmer turned out to be a landmine. Yeah. I mean, in fairness, it would distribute seeds over a large area. It also distributes a lot of other things over a large area. Then you need for your contribution to the SCP Stream Challenge. Yeah, also while I have people here, I want to remind people that on this weekend I am going to be streaming for most of the weekend. No official times yet, because it's going to basically be whenever I wake up till whenever I feel tired, both days. I'm going to be doing a holiday hangout for people to have somewhere to be in case they, if they're lonely on Christmas or the holiday season, or they don't feel safe being around their family, or they need somewhere to just be and relax for a bit. That's what I'm going to be doing. Red Alone, welcome. You have in the end? Yes, you did. I only did the art. I only just doing art for like 2 hours or so. Decided to quit because I'd done most of the floofening. But yeah. Yeah, that's the plan for the weekend. Depending on how... So, and also for the weekend, there's not going to be any Borderlands 3. I don't know what I am going to be streaming both days. It's basically going to be a combination hodgepodge of whatever I feel like playing when I'm doing it. There may be some Sekiro, maybe some Doom 2016. I don't know, I'm going to go through some of my games and find out what I want to stream for that day. Maybe some Warframe. I don't know. We'll see when it comes around to it. Maybe I'll just do some chatting sessions. We'll see. But the main point of the weekend streams is going to be literally giving people somewhere to hang out where they can not be alone. Try Journey. You keep mentioning that. I do keep forgetting about it. So yeah, I probably will. Yeah, Journey will definitely be a potential one. Nice chilled atmosphere in for me actually to get through it. I don't know. I do not know why that game keeps evading me. I don't know. I really don't know. Listen to if you need it. If I start off streaming Sekiro, I probably will go to Journey just to chill out at the end of it. I probably will need it. Skoo is also going to be doing a similar thing, but they're going to be doing it on Friday. Instead, it's at 8 p.m. their time, which translates to 2 a.m. on Saturday morning for GMT. I'm going to be there, modding and taking it part, but they're thinking, basically doing, hanging out games and just having fun together. Again, just so people have got somewhere to be over the holiday season if they don't have anyone to be around in person, or if they can't be themselves around others. You want Journey Love another game, but as an app. Nice. Yeah, I think I picked up Journey when it was free on PlayStation Plus one time, ages and ages ago. Just never gotten around to playing it. I've got so many games like that I picked up on PS Plus for free, or on free games on GOG or Epic or Steam. I just never played them. I just own them. But yeah. So that's where I'm going to be ending things at the moment. That's where I've spoken about the holiday streams and next stream plans. Be sleeping that time, sadly. Hopefully, yeah, no problem at all, Woodgren. It will, the stream will be there if you can't sleep, and if you're not asleep, then Joe, if you're just running your PC. It's one of those games that it looks lovely. It also looks very simplistic, but for some weird reason, it really, really eats resources. No idea why. Might play some Doom mods. Might actually play some Doom mods on PC. That might be some fun as well. I do love me some Doom. I've got a load of mods to play now. Well, I say a load. I've got mods to play, and I've got other mods. Oh, I've got Bloom. I've got Bloom I could play. Ooh, what Hedon? I've got Hedon 2 as well. Although getting Hedon working was a bit choppy. Don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens on the weekend when it comes around. But yeah, until tonight, when I go back to Dark Souls 3, if I see you then, or until tomorrow, whichever time I see you. Thank you all very much for coming along. Thank you for your support. It's all greatly appreciated. But until next time, have yourselves a good rest of your day, a good night, good evening, a good afternoon, or a good morning. Whatever time zone is for you. Whatever time is, whatever time zone it works. Well, till next time, stay safe and see you later. Bye.